My wife moaned another man's name during intimacy on our anniversary. She says it was nothing, and she tries to act like nothing happened, but I can't forget what I heard. I'm 27. Am I in a fight with my wife? 27, after an incident during intimacy. For context, we're high school sweethearts married for 6 years. We have a child, 3. We've been through a lot together. I love her deeply. Our marriage is in a rough patch. Our quality time as a couple is struggling. We're in counseling. We're working on making time for each other and reaffirming our bond. That's our current focus in counseling, and we're assigned intimacy exercises. Part of these exercises is for us to make a consistent, conscious effort for each other. We had a staycation to celebrate our anniversary while our son spent the weekend at his grandparents'. The trip was largely nice, and we got a better focus on each other, but it took a turn. The night of our anniversary, we were cuddling, and it turned into more. My wife initiated. She was really into it and expressive, and then out of nowhere she moaned another man's name who's in our friend group. We stopped immediately. There was no mistaking what she said. She looked stunned before recovering and treating it like a texting typo or something. When I questioned why she'd say another guy's name, let alone one of our friends, she swore it meant nothing and that she was just consumed with what I was doing to her. I couldn't buy it. I don't believe it meant nothing. Not the passionate way she said it. I believe she was fantasizing about him while being with me. She insisted it wasn't like that and was only a slip of the tongue. I asked why his name in particular. First, she didn't know, then said maybe because she was replying to his text earlier in the group chat. When I pushed back, she got defensive. She said I was making something out of nothing and how it didn't need to ruin our anniversary. I told her nothing she was saying was reaching me, and I needed some time. She tried kissing me and initiating again like nothing happened, but I turned her down. The incident put a damper on the rest of the trip. We haven't been intimate since, and any steps we've made forward with our exercises have taken a significant leap back. We're in a cycle of awkward silence, even in front of our son or her ignoring the elephant in the room. She's being extra affectionate now, but I can't shake what happened. I never thought twice about their friendship, but now I'm seeing past interactions differently. I love my wife. She and our son mean the world to me. I've been committed to working on our marriage, but I'm at a loss here. I feel my wife isn't being honest and is attempting to rug sweep by pouring on affection. I'm left reconsidering everything. I don't know how to navigate forward. I need outside perspectives. Best comments. I think they are in therapy for a reason, and they should get an emergency appointment. Regardless of what has happened, there's a significant chance this damages their relationship beyond repair. Trying to talk in a neutral environment might be helpful. Honestly, that would just push me out the door at this point, especially seeing as she doubles down and tries to minimize your feelings. I just cannot express how messed up this whole situation is. I hope that you find peace however you move forward. I would feel so betrayed if I was having sex with someone and they were imagining someone else. Who thinks that's okay? Do that when you're having solo time. She downplayed it and said I was making something out of nothing. Honestly, this is what might kill things for me. Instead of actually dealing with it, she's weaponizing her F up and you're hurt to make it into a you problem. A good and empathetic person doesn't do that. It's hard to move forward with someone who doesn't care they hurt you. What you have is circumstantial evidence of your wife, either having an affair with your friend or fantasizing about your friend while having sex with you, or it was an innocent brain malfunction with no relation to reality. But your marriage is in a rough patch, and yet you love her deeply. I'm going to suggest you believe in her innocence, because what have you got to lose? If your wife is unfaithful, indeed, then that will be revealed at some point. If she is faithful, she and your son will still mean the world to you. Of course, you could investigate your wife. You could check her texts, etc., and see if that either convicts or exonerates her. Since you are in counseling, isn't that the place for you to seek advice/navigation through your torment? Update number 1. Thanks to everyone who reached out. I couldn't reply to everything, but the outside perspectives helped. A general consensus was that my wife and we should tackle the issue in therapy. I knew that's what I should have done, but I delayed. I was too embarrassed. The thought of bringing up what happened in counseling made it worse, but I knew it needed to be done. My wife didn't initially take kindly to it. She was defensive and accused me of throwing her under the bus. I disagreed. I wouldn't throw her under the bus either. The truth is, we never arranged topics in therapy beforehand. We argued over each other. Our therapist came through as a referee. She called for a timeout for us to recollect and to reflect on the objective being working toward a solution, not going at each other. We were able to actually talk once things cooled down. My wife was asked how she would feel if the roles were reversed. She admitted if I had said another woman's name while we were having sex and on our anniversary, she wouldn't have handled it well at all. She apologized for downplaying my feelings. While I appreciated her acknowledgement, I still thought she wasn't honest about why she said that guy's name. So I pressed. She said she didn't want to hurt me more than she already did. I told her she was hurting me by lying. She confessed that during a period where we weren't having sex, she had engaged in fantasies to satisfy herself. One of them was of our friend. I knew the period she was talking about. Intimacy as a whole has been a struggle, but there was a point where we were abstinent sexually. We weren't even sharing a bed at the time. We'd argue, then leave to separate rooms, or our son would share the bed with us. I asked how long she's been fantasizing about him. She said off and on. He wasn't a constant fantasy. It wasn't necessarily about him, but more about the taboo. She swore that the fantasies meant nothing, that they were just scenarios to get her there and nothing she would ever actually want. It was tough, but I tried hearing her out instead of shutting down. Arguing wasn't getting us anywhere either. I can't relate to her about this. She's always been enough for me during good and bad times. I was always focused on her during intimacy. I told her that while I knew our marriage wasn't perfect, I thought we were getting to a better place, and we were engaging in various forms of intimacy again. She claimed she doesn't indulge the fantasies anymore. I called bullshit because she did just that on our anniversary of all days. She insisted his name was only a slip of the tongue because she was replying to his texts in the group thread that day. She said she was consumed with what I was doing to her, and in the heat of the moment, his name slipped out. When I asked why she didn't tell me all of this after the incident, she said she felt guilty and afraid for our marriage. She said our marriage was already in a state of recovery, and she didn't want to blow everything up over a stupid mistake. She kept saying she doesn't want him or anyone else. She only wants to be with me, and that's the whole reason why she's fighting for our marriage. The session was a lot. I was mostly quiet after she finished. She asked me to please say something, but all I could say was I needed some time. I'm still sorting through how I feel. I believe she was more truthful, but it's difficult, nor do I see things between her and our friend the same. I would like to work on my marriage. My wife and our son mean the world to me. I want the best solution for everyone involved. Thank you again to everyone. I appreciate the support. Best comments. I think the next thing you need to do is schedule another therapy session and discuss tools for rebuilding trust. At this point, you bring up your trust with Shook because she kept trickle-truthing, and how can you know she isn't hiding more from you? That you don't want to distrust her, but you don't know how to rebuild. Allow me to be blunt about some uncomfortable truths. Everyone fantasizes. It is if and how we act on our fantasies, and if we allow our fantasies to impact our real life that matters. Keep your focus on her behavior, not her fantasies. Trust is similar to reputation, in that once it is broken, it is hard to rebuild, but it can be rebuilt. Trust is always a leap of faith. It is built on little acts of consistent, reliable behavior, but at its heart, it is a leap of faith. The little voices in your head, the ones going, but what if she is secretly in love with a friend? But what if she thinks he is sexier than me? Yes, those voices. Nothing your wife can say or do will be able to silence those voices. That is a battle for you and you alone. You need to figure out how to self-soothe those voices. Fantasizing is normal, but not with people we know. If she said Brad Pitt's name, hell, even Goku or some shit, I would be girl who never. But to say a name from a friend? She may never have cheated physically, but even so, it's not that easy to forget and just move on. I once moaned the name of an anime character during sex. My partner still doesn't let me live it down. Well, that's the problem with trickle-truthing. There's no way to know when she stops trickling and when she's telling the truth. I didn't do it. I did, but it was just a fantasy. I don't fantasize anymore. I do fantasize, but it doesn't mean I want him. I want him, but won't do anything. I did something on our struggle time, but it was just hanging out, and so on.